Spend less, save more. Easier said than done. But if you want to revamp your finances this year, you might have to make some tough decisions. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Tamsin Fidel.
I'm Corey Chambers, and for Aaron E. The cost of living, of course, we all know keeps going up. The paychecks are staying the same. So unless you're able to get a raise or a higher paying job, you might need a money makeover.
Yeah, well, joining us now to talk more about it and help you reach your financial goals is author and founder of iFinance, Dr. Ann Kaplan. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
So, you know, one of the easiest ways to save is also one of the hardest ways. We talk about cutting spending all the time, but it's not like when it comes to essentials, you can buy less food from your family. So where can you go to try and cut back?
So cutting back, there's three main places, and one of them is in your food cost. And we're all caught up in this delivery of food and fast eating, but it's better to buy more in bulk and no-name brands, and try to not have your food delivered, because that's a very, very big cost. Another one is in your transportation. That's a big spending. Do you need a car? Is it necessary to have a car, especially with Zoom calls, etc. these days? So cars are really becoming a big part of our budgets. And insurance, health insurance. Now is a time to shop around. Health insurance has different prices across the board. Do some shopping.
All right, you talk about shopping around. I guess it kind of leads to the idea of negotiating. We have the power to negotiate. So how can you talk your way into some lower prices?
Well, your credit cards, you can talk your way into lower prices. You can go to your banks and talk to them about your mortgage rate. It's a little bit hard to do that on a fixed mortgage rate, but you could be replacing that variable mortgage rate. And we've had 20 years of really not having to worry about it. And variable rates were preferable. We could pay them off at any time without any type of penalty. But now your variable rate would be a lot higher than a fixed rate. So talk to your banks and look closely, get smart, look closely at what your overhead is.
So let's talk about debt for a minute, because it's a tough topic, and you have to, be aware of it and be honest with yourself, but it affects nearly everybody out there. Some people say a little debt can help you build credit. Others say get rid of debt altogether. What is your take on that?
So absolutely get rid of your debt altogether, and don't get caught up in that point of sale when you're purchasing something. And boy, it would be easy to get maybe this slightly unnecessary item at the point of sale and then pay $25 a month. Be very, very careful with that. Also, you want to replace your expensive debt with cheaper debt. So if you have expensive cards, but you have access to a card that doesn't have a high interest rate, replace that card. But remember, don't cancel your old card. Pay it off, but don't cancel it, because then your debt servicing ratio will go down. So you want to have available credit, but don't utilize it.
Interesting.
That'll push up your credit score.
And when you're paying off debt, I know it's better to get rid of the one with the highest interest first, or are you more of a snowball person? Because we talked to a person that's all about the snowball method yesterday. What method are you?
So I would be more, pay off those smaller debts first, get rid of those. And if you have one that's a very large one with a high interest rate, try to replace that with a lower interest rate. But start to get rid of those smaller debts first. It's a lot easier on your budget. And don't take on more debt at the same time.
Yeah, let's talk about becoming debt-free, because it is a nice feeling for people to have, and it's not very easy to do, especially when something comes up over and over again. How can you become debt-free?
Well, becoming debt-free means not getting caught up in, oh, I need a new sofa. And I don't like to say this because a lot of people want like a new sofa, and it's interest-free for a year. But remember, after a year, you're going to start paying a large amount of debt. So stop purchasing and that spontaneous, or I need this, or unnecessary items, and then start to pay off your debts, and be very cognizant of what debt can do to you, especially in a market where we don't see interest rates going down for a while. So don't start taking on more debt, and get rid of anything you can, cars, anything with high debt, and get it out of your system and find other ways to replace and solve problems such as transportation.
I always think about reselling things too. There's so many ways to resell things out there, like clothes, items. I think that's a good thing. You give it away, and there are also options to resell it.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Yeah, Dr. Ann Kaplan, thanks so much for speaking with us today. And for more of her tips, follow her on Instagram at @AnnKaplan_own it.